We're going to do start an adventure. Let's build a world and character. Just like the Windows version, I think I'll do the world of Daggerfall. Open world RPG. Let's roll for our character. Yeah, it's pretty good. The narrator chooses the music based on the mood of what's happening in the adventure and then streams SID files. They're not included for copyright reasons, but you can download them with a script that I included. Let's do Khajiit, as we always do. I'm going to be, of course, like a sneaky ranger, magic user, short sword creature. What everybody does. What is it, sneaky archer? Here's where you can choose your gear. You can type in anything you want, or you can pick from categories. Again, it's streaming over a modem. It's a ACIA Swift Link modem. I would like a short sword. That's a custom item. And it goes at 38,400 baud. And in Vice, it seems a little bit slower than it does on the real hardware, surprisingly. Let's do some armor, padded robes. So let's just start the adventure. So what's happening now is the LLM is preparing the story by coming up with a rough outline, kind of like a dungeon master would do, with some like key locations that you can choose to go to or ignore. You can also talk out of character to the dungeon master, the narrator, and say like, oh, I'd like this for this to happen in the adventure, and it'll respond to you. Dusk settles over Glenpoint like a damp wool blanket. The crier's voice bounces off half-timbered walls, promising gold for a crypt's clearing. A guard leans on his spear near the fountain, watching you with the lazy suspicion reserved for Khajiit. A merchant's cat hisses from a stall piled with turnips. These are challenging sentences. I feel like I'm doing like a vocal warm-up. A ragged boy tugs your sleeve. You're a sellsword. Oh no, did I misspell spell sword? You're a sellsword, yeah? The crypt's got ghosts. My Da says they moan like the dead. He grins, missing a tooth. But ghosts don't leave boot prints. The crier shouts again, 500 gold by order of the guild. Let's do a couple things first. Let's talk to the narrator and say, we're doing a shorter adventure. Can you please make the replies a bit more terse going forward? And also, what spells do I know? The narrator says, terse it is. You know no spells yet. You're a ranger who's dabbled in magic but never learned a formal spell. The crypt may hold a scroll or two. And Sister Mira, the temple might teach you something of a favor. For now, your short sword and wits are your magic. That's not good. Let's go up to the crier and listen for more details. Yeah, I'm making typos because of the emulator. It's not able to keep up with my typing. And on the real hardware, it works. You step up to the crier's platform. He pauses mid-shout, looks you over, and then leans down. 500 golds, sellsword. Crypt's a half-mile south past the gate. Moans, ghost lights, travelers spooked. Town council wants it quiet. He shrugs. That's all I know. Aldous at the guild posted the bounty. He's got the coin and the questions. He resumes shouting. I don't know any spells. I think I know what my inventory is. But we could do something. So you can type print and then anything that you want, and it will print to a real printer. I don't think I'll be able to actually show you the virtual printer here. Anything you want. So I print my inventory. You could print like your journal. You can print the quest that you're on. Any kind of notes that you would normally write down inside of a notebook. You can just do print, and it'll print it to a real IEC device or a virtual one, or it can send it to a Linux machine running cups and print onto a modern printer. So I bought this like quite inexpensive, like a $40 thermal printer that prints very quickly and can print graphics and text in grayscale. And so I have like a little printer sitting next to my Commodore 64 that prints really quickly whenever I do print. You could do that like if you're working on a AI assistant chat and like you have a recipe, you could do like print the recipe and it'll actually give you a hard copy of it. So quite useful. Anyway, let's go south. You head south through the gate. Cobblestones give way to packed dirt. The road winds past fallow fields and into scraggly woods. Dusk deepens to gray twilight. Moss-slick stone steps descend into the blackness. Oh, and another thing, a big feature. Every time you enter a new area, it recommends often that a picture is available, or you could do /pic and it will generate one for you. This is contacting another local AI service. I'm running Comfy UI on the machine that I'm recording this on, my gaming PC. Local models for image generation are really not quite as good as Frontier models, but you have to pay for those, which this can hook into. It probably costs like a few cents per image, so it's not really a big deal. But I like running local AI as much as possible. I think this stuff is super cool. It kind of like fulfills this sci-fi feeling that I had, like, oh, imagine if computers were intelligent enough to have conversations. Like, that was outside of the realm of possibility until very recently. But now they can generate images, and sound, and adventures. That's pretty cool. The torch-lit north door beckons. Cat hisses warning. Ah, I can see the cat. Yeah, I like the Commodore 64 style graphics. It's pretty cool. Enter the crypt. 3 crates stacked against the wall, stenciled with merchant marks. A coil of rope, a shovel, the lantern sits on a crate, casting long shadows. A tunnel gapes in the far wall, roughly dug, heading north. You hear voices, a muffled, coming from the tunnel. 2, maybe 3 men. Take all. So one of the things I always wanted to do in a text adventure is have the ability to do anything that I want, even if it's absurd or breaks the game, or like real Dungeons and Dragons, you can use creativity. Grab the lantern and toss it into the tunnel as hard as I can, intending to break it and spread fire. I'll show you another feature too. The Dungeon Master will roll dice for you when it's appropriate, or you can do it yourself proactively with a macro. Rolling for dexterity. Let's roll a 1d20. And we rolled a 3. You hurl the lantern into the tunnel. It clatters off the wall and bounces harmlessly onto the stone floor, the flame guttering but not dying. The noise echoes loudly, the voices stop, a heartbeat of silence. Then a gruff voice. Someone's in the crypt. Grab the torches. Combat begins. One lunges at you, club swinging. You lunge, short sword flashing. The man tries to twist away, but your blade catches his arm, drawing blood. He staggers, curses. You're outnumbered, the torchbearer growls, but his voice wavers. Back off, and we'll forget you were here. It goes. Let's try something different. Yell at the man that I was sent by the new smuggler's contact. I'm here for the shipment. Persuasion. Roll 1d20. I got a 19. Pretty good. Before any modifiers. You sheath your sword and spread your hands, voice sharp and impatient. Nard sent me. The shipment's late, and he's not paying full price for goods that sit in a damp crypt while you two squabble. The third voice comes to the tunnel. A big man, bald, arms like hawsers. He steps into the torchlight, studies you. Nard doesn't send new faces without a token. What's his sign? This is where it would be really handy to have had some spells prepared, or other inventory items that I brought with me. I could try to bluff my way out of this. I don't really have anything at my disposal. I think I have a lantern, a shovel, a sword. Khajiit race doesn't really have anything special except for darkness. I attempted to bluff the men, figuring it won't work. But I say, he has no sign. He was born during an eclipse of 2 moons. Rolling. Roll 1d20. And then at the same time, I try to stomp down on the lantern hard to extinguish it, as I can see in the dark. In Khajiit. Roll 1d20. I rolled an 8 and a 17. Corb's face hardens. No token, no moon talk, you're a rat. He draws his dagger, but your foot comes down on the lantern, glass crunches, flame dies, darkness swallows the chamber. Your Khajiit eyes adjust. You see Corb blinking blindly, the torchbearer fumbling for a flint, the wounded man cursing. They're blind, you're not. They fan out, club swinging wildly in the dark. Corb's dagger sweeps air, the torchbearer trips over a crate. I target the man attempting to light his torch, thrusting my sword for his heart. I'm going to let it roll for me, and this should be an easy attack. You slide forward, silent as shadow, blade aimed true. The torchbearer never hears you. Your short sword sinks into his chest. He gurgles, drops the flint, and crumples. Corb spins at the sound. Grek, Grek! His voice cracks. He stumbles backward, dagger raised, blind. The wounded man is backing towards the tunnel, breathing hard. 2 left. Corb's frantic but dangerous. The wounded one's bleeding out, but still armed. What do you do? So, I'm going to leave it here. You can see how the adventure will work. Hopefully, by this time, it's very clear. I'm going to briefly show you some of the other features. I'm going to hit F1. That loads the module from disk. That displays the main menu. And let's go to chat mode, which is like just back and forth. Make a new conversation. By the way, these modules are cached, so if you're not switching between them, it's quite fast to load. Let's talk to the AI assistant. So this is the general purpose, like Commodore 64 designed AI assistant. And can you please give me a recipe? Recipe for chicken with broccoli. And of course, all your previous conversations are saved. You can search them and they show up in a menu. You can favorite them too, and those ones appear at the top. And then of course you could do print. You don't even need to specify anything, and that would print the recipe. I just don't have a printer hooked up. And yeah, there's some other features you could check out. I mean, there's a jukebox where you can like choose the music or at least go between them. You can make pictures as I showed you. You can view all the past ones. There's also a help. But yes, I hope you'll check it out. This is donationware, so it's free. You can get it on my GitHub. Go to foxipso.com. But the recommended donation, I think, is $10. However, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try it out. I hope you can give me bug reports. And yeah, I love having real retro hardware upstairs, like just sitting in my house where I can interact with an intelligence of some manner whenever I want. That was my goal with this project, and the adventure mode was just like a little side bonus that I really enjoy and wanted to show off. So thanks for taking a look.